Morning, Ray here, not that one. Well, as I'm sure you can tell, I'm not out in the canoe this weekend. No, I've managed to blag a bit of time off work and I'm started or attempting the Wolf Way circular road trip of Suffolk. I've been on a lot of off-road already. I think it's probably about 30%. But yeah, it's brilliant. So I did complete this before last year, last June. But because of work pressures, I had to do it in two stints. So I cycled from near my home to Ipswich, got the train back home. Then the following weekend, obviously, got the train to Ipswich, and then completed the rest of it to Lowestoft and back, cycled back home from there. So this time, I'm attempting to do it all in one hit. Today is Friday the 17th of October, and tomorrow is looking, so today and tomorrow are looking reasonable. Overcast, but but largely dry. The forecast for Sunday is a bit of a shocker, but it keeps changing. So to be fair, I have really got very little plan of what's going to happen. I've just set off about 32 kilometres in so far. That's including, obviously, I had to cycle from home to the start of the route, which I think was about 8k. So like I said, I haven't really got a plan. I'm just gonna keep pedalling until it gets dark, find somewhere to chuck my tarp up in the bivvy bag, and then just carry on pedalling the next day, and so on and so forth. Had a few dramas this morning, really. Things haven't been, sometimes how things go and you think, is this a sign? First thing I did is I walked out the house, but I'll just click the Garmin on while I'm taking some rubbish to the bin, and switch Garmin on. Software update. Oh, bloody marvellous, isn't it? Couldn't have done it last night. No, this morning, so took it back indoors, did the software update on the road. I've got my selfie stick with me, which I normally use to do a few cycle buys and that sort of thing, and that's got a little pointy stick which goes in the bottom of it, and that's fell out and I've lost that. And then the little extension brackets for, because I've got a handlebar bag on, I've got one of those cheap Chinese extend my Garmin and my torch, and that keeps coming loose. Had some young woman in a bloody Audi trying to kill me, or was that a bloody young woman in an Audi? One of the two. All part and parcel of doing a bit of bike packing. So this is Nethershall Heath, Suffolk Wildlife Trust area, and down here we have some of the horses, ponies, Koenigs. These have been established there now for a good number of years. Junction of the Peddars Way and the Icknield Way, which is just up here, and we're going to be going down a section of the Icknield Way now on this trip. Okay, we're back on the tarmac again. I always think these are very interesting, these trees. There's quite a lot of them in this area, and we did look this up. I'm trying to remember what they were now. I think they're a magnolia tree. Something along them lines, but they're very bizarre looking thing. But so I was at Nethershall, as you saw, then I went down the Icknield Way, and then on a really nice bridle way, all on the edge of the Euston Estates, or through the Euston Estates. This is nice. We are in some woodland. Very nice. I'm pretty sure this is the probably the edge of the King's Forest. I'm not 100% sure, but we're somewhere near Ampton. But yeah, no, it's been okay. It's incredibly overcast. Right, I think we're now on the northernmost piece of the tracks around the King's Forest. So yeah, we're getting round. So once I skirt around the top of this section, we're then very close to the Lavenham War Memorial, and then I think we're sort of more or less heading south down to Tuddenham and then swinging around back out to Bury. So yeah, things aren't going too badly. What are we in now, about 65k I think. Just been down the ridiculously bumpy flint track, which sort of leads all the way up to, well, nearly up to where we get to here. Yeah, I know, it's lovely, really. Really nice. I do love being near the trees, forests. It's really nice. If that was a bit later, I'd be diving in there to sleep for the night. That'd be lovely. God knows where I'll be spending the night tonight. Could be any bloody where. Hopefully it'll be in a small wood or something, I suppose. Right, just riding across some open access land at, I think I said Dead Man's Grave. Yeah, I've been across here a few times, but it's always sheeps here. And it has been, I've been off-road for bloody ages. Cannot believe how long I've been off-road for. Ever since I started on that King's Pass, and it's been relentless ever since. Sandy tracks, stony tracks, grassy tracks, bumpy tracks. I think now, once we get through here, I think we are getting somewhere near our bloody road. As much as I love tracks and hate the road, oh, it has got its advantages, especially when you're on a spiked wheel suspension. So I'm riding the same bike I did when I did this last year, and that is my Giant FastRoad SL. Slightly upgraded with the addition of some knobbly tyres, which are slightly wider. Other than that, it's standard. Apart from all the bags and bolt-on bits, but yeah, you know, on the road. So yeah, so this first loop I did on this bike, and then when I did the second loop the following week, I was on my Giant XTC, which has obviously got front suspension. And it was a very, yeah, it was a very difficult decision on which bike to bring, but I know the XTC would, obviously for this it would be perfect, absolutely spot on, but on the road it is a bit slow, the wider tyres and everything does, and it's heavier. Does slow me down a bit, so I thought, well, this will be the one to do it on, rightly or wrongly. Oh, right. Well, this bit of time that doesn't last that long, because I'm pretty sure that in a minute we'll be going off-road again. This bit is now coming back to me. This is some sort of heath up here. I can't remember the name of it. But still, what we're doing, it's 10 to 1. I'm 75k in. Because of all the off-road, my average speed has dropped down somewhat. Yeah, we're now down to 18k average, which is pretty sedate, but I mean, I'm not that fast anyway. Generally, I'm usually somewhere between about 23 and 26, depending on, well, on this bike with all this gear. Obviously, on the carbon bike, I'm a lot faster than that. And this one, when I haven't got no gear on it, but I am dragging a fair bit of weight along with it. Right, here we are. We are now in the lovely Lavenham. Yes, I haven't been here for a few years. Well, apart from riding through here last year on this rough way. I haven't actually visited here as a tourist, if you like. It's now 5 o'clock, so I've got about an hour of daylight left. Got very busy all of a sudden. Good morning, Ray here. It's not that one. Well, it's now Saturday morning, and yeah, an interesting end to yesterday. I was in Lavenham, I think, last time I did a video, and all was good. And then I don't really know what happened, but my Garmin decided it would be rather a good idea to direct me back to Bury St Edmunds. So I was happily following the Garmin, because it had been pretty faultless all the way here. Well, it had been faultless all the way here, it had been working perfectly. So obviously it told me to turn left and right, and that's what I did. Unfortunately, it was wrong. So by the time I found out, I'd gone quite a few kilometres out of my way, by which time it was dark. So it's still not quite telling me right. I need to go up this line. And for some reason, it thinks I'm on the other side and travelling in the opposite direction. I have no idea why. So yeah, bit of a disaster really. So by the time I realised it was proper dark, really dark. By the time I got back to Long Melford, it was 7 o'clock, and I was looking for. I stopped in 2 woods to try and find somewhere to sleep, which wasn't. None of them looked particularly appealing. One was just like an old thicket. So anyway, I carried on to Long Melford, and by the time I got there, I thought, sod it. So I saw a pub or hotel, or had a sign up with rooms on it. So for the first time ever, I dived into a B&B. I had done over 150 kilometres, and was starting to get a little worn out anyway. But no, so that's what I did. So I had a nice meal, slept in a nice bed. Right, I've just passed through Bures, and Yeah, and I've just stopped here, which bizarrely enough is exactly the same spot I stopped in last time I did this trip. So yeah, just stopped there and just had a bite to eat and a coffee. As soon as I finish this, I will be back on the way. Well, it's lovely here, lovely view across the valley. It's been nice to come through all the places that I was canoeing on when I did the Star trip. Now all through the marsh and Bures and obviously Sudbury. Yeah, it's quite nice to sit from the road as well. Alright, well we're a bit further up the road. Just been checking out the forecast again for tomorrow. But yeah, it's not improved any. And just heavy winds and heavy rain coming in from about lunchtime. I'm hoping to get a bit more of an update as we go through the day, just to see what the times are, but it's not looking fantastic. So I'll make a decision now. So by the time I get to Ipswich, I'm going to have to decide whether to knock it on the head and come back and do the other half another time. Hey, yeah, come back and do it maybe next weekend. Yeah, so it's a tough one. I'd love to do it all today, but today, tomorrow. I think if I have a really good day today, I'm unlikely to get any further than probably get to Woodbridge, maybe even on the way to Orford. And there's some lovely woods there to camp in, which would be fantastic. But then it's quite a long slog up the coast to get to Lowestoft. And of course I've got to get all the way back to this. So yeah, as I've been cycling on this last bit, I've been doing a bit of thinking. And I'm thinking, am I too old for doing these long distance bike packing things with a load of gear on the bike? It does make it hard work because I'm pushing a lot of weight along. So as much as I hate it, I'm wondering whether lightweight bike and B&Bs is looking rather favourable. So I'll be a hell of a lot faster on a lightweight bike. And oh, there's a nice farm shop here. I seem to remember last time I stopped in there and had a nice big English breakfast. Oh, well, hey, we got the Ford. Not too much water in it. Yes, I do remember all this. Okay, right, well, as you may be able to tell, I've had a change of heart. I've negotiated my way around Ipswich and I'm now on my way to Felixstowe. Yeah, I've had a look at the forecast and yeah, it's not too bad actually. Well, it is tomorrow, but for the rest of the day it's going to be okay. The wind is starting to pick up. I can feel it now as I'm heading near the coast, but once I get to Felixstowe, that should be sort of a bit more behind me. And then tomorrow, it's going to be very high, quite high winds, but they are blowing directly up the coast, so I should have a fairly strong tailwind, which is going to blow me all the way to Lowestoft, which will be quite good. Alright, I'll take a turn here. Yeah, and the other thing is the rain looks like it's not going to come in till about 4 o'clock. And I'm thinking by then I'll have reached Lowestoft and be on my way back to Beccles. I have just got to make a stop in near Lowestoft, well, Alton Broad, just to pop in and see some see some family I haven't seen for a long while. I mean, it's going to rain pretty hard from what I make out. Thinking something, thinking about it. So when I did the trip last time, the second leg I caught a train to Ipswich. I don't know what time I got off the train, but you know, assuming it was about 8:30, and I cycled the whole first leg, and I got as far as Cove Hive, where I spent the night. And from there I made it to Lowestoft and all the way back home. Again, I'm not sure what time I got home, but probably would have been late afternoon. So what I figured is, it's now 1:30, so I'm going to be several hours ahead of where I was last year. So the gamble is I can get all the way to Lowestoft, start cracking on towards Beccles, hopefully before the heavy rain kicks in. But if I don't, well then I shall have to try and make an arrangement. So it might just be just push home and just get soaking wet regardless, which is probably what I'll do. Or I can always drop into a B&B, I guess. So we'll have to see how the rest of the day goes, and tomorrow. Hi, right, we're back again. I'm now on the winter route, passing a place called Curtin, and then yeah, I'm making my way through to Martlesham and then to Woodbridge. I didn't realise people ain't going off road again. Just swallowed a whole load of flies, so hi, we're back on the road. Yes. Right, yes, so I swallowed a few flies, which was making me cough somewhat. Yeah, so cutting through on the winter route. We've got a ways to go. I'm 4:10. I think I spent perhaps a little too much time in Felixstowe. I did stop and grab an ice cream. I wish I hadn't bothered really. That's possibly one of the worst ice creams I've ever had. I don't know what the hell was going on with it, but the vanilla tasted like it had flakes of sugar in it. It's most unpleasant. The cone was pretty rotten. Luckily I had some chocolate ice cream, which was, you know, passable. So I ate that and chucked the rest. A waste of £7. I know we've got waddling field along here. Once we get to there, we are getting a bit nearer the Martlesham end. So I think I may be going into the dark again. The only bonus is that I am very familiar with Lavenham Forest, so of all the places there is that I could try and find somewhere in the dark, that's one of them. So yeah, we should be alright. Bit of good news, I've just passed some signposts. It says Marklesham is 3 miles and Woodbridge is 5 miles, so that's not as far as I feared. So that's quite good. Now when I get to, before I get to Woodbridge, there's quite a wide circuit around Woodbridge, all around through Bedfield and various other places. But even so, that's not so bad at all. So yeah, happy days. You don't think you meet much traffic on a little road like this, would you? This is the third vehicle I've met. Where they're going to? Perhaps they live there.